Hey everyone, how many times have you felt that after watching a beautiful website, you got jealous of the person who's earning millions of money behind the beauty and also got jealous because your own beautiful idea could not become a website? Then you are at the right place because I'm gonna tell you on how to be an amazing web developer. So watch this video till the end if you want to be an amazing web developer. So if this is the first question that is popping in your mind, then let me tell you that web development is not easy. Anything done for the first time is not easy, right? Hence, if you build one website first, then for the second time, it will be like really easy and super interesting. Let me tell you my story. I was a web developer too, and in my initial days, these were my screens. Every single code of line I write, an error popped up all the time. And what I used to end up is in a frustrated manner, right? Everyone would be frustrated. But what am I going to do? I'm not going to let you end up as a frustrated developer because things have changed. The way people program have changed. And all these things of frustration, like the security, front end, back end, middle layer, will not be struggling you anymore because I have a superpower, which is the Django. Now let's meet the Django first. So, Django is your savior because this will help you to build your websites in a very much easier and fast manner. So, Django is an high level Python framework, and I'm telling Django is a savior of you because it takes care of much of the hassle in web development. So, if you're like this, I mean, what the hell is this? Then let me tell you what hassles you face and how Django helps. So, apart from building a website on the front end and back end perspectives, I mean, the front end is the user interface or the content that you see on a website, and the back end is where the data is stored, and the middle layer. You need to optimize on the search engine side, handle the security issues of your website, and ensure it is developed rapidly. You should also ensure the scalability of your application with the testing support, and you should also handle form validations. Forms are the ones which take the user input. So if you have your users and if you want their input, then forms are the one which you should definitely look into. A huge library of packages should be available which help you to code less and focus on your idea more. And the speed, definitely one of the most important, easy to code, and good documentation. If you want all of these at one single place, then Django is your savior because Django handles all of these hard work tasks and gives you the power to focus on your idea more and less on these issues. If you're not convinced yet if Django could help you to develop your web application, then here is your example. How many of you out there use Instagram? Oh, yeah, I have slapped myself. Everyone, almost everyone out there uses Instagram, right? So, Instagram, have you ever faced any issues with Instagram? Almost like zero, right? So, let me tell you that Instagram is built using Django. So, if Django could support Instagram, then it will definitely support your idea. And that I can tell very much confidently. So, are you supercharged to learn Django? Then let's get started. If you're confused on where to get started on learning Django, then let me tell you, there are many YouTubers out there posting their good content out there. But Each of these courses talk about Django in a different perspective, in a different manner. And if you're confused on which one to choose for yourself, then watch this video till the end because I'm gonna review most famous courses on YouTube about Django so that you can pick whichever one is suited to you. So let's get started with the reviews of the most popular courses on Django. Yeah. One thing, guys, before you get started with Django, it is better if you learn HTML and CSS. HTML and CSS are the languages which help you to write the front end part or the code that you see on a browser. The buttons, the form fields, all such stuff are coded using HTML and the styles are given using the CSS. So if you learn HTML and CSS, that would really help your Django development. And Python is also important. If you learn Python, then the coding of the Django will become really easy. I'm telling you this because Django is a framework which helps you to build web applications, but ultimately, to build Django web apps, you use Python language. So that's why if you learn these three, then it will be very easy for you to learn the Django web application development. So that's it for the prerequisites, guys. Let's move on to the YouTube courses reviews. So the first one in the review is the Telesco Learning's Django for Beginners course. So it's a 3 hour and 9 minutes course. Let's see what's in here. So in this course, the setup of the Django environment and the virtual environment in which you work with Django are explained. The Hello World app is built. The Django template language is explained. The get and post HTTP methods are explained. MVT, which is a model view template architecture, is explained. The static and dynamic pages are explained, and how to build them is also explained. The concept of ORM, which is the object relation mapping, a very, very important concept that you need to know in Django, is covered. How to connect with the backend databases like the PostgreSQL using the packages like Psycop-G2 are covered. And finally, the course ends with the Django admin panel and the concepts of how to build the user registration and login pages. User registration and login pages are almost needed for any web application. So this is like the kind of a very unique and good thing about this course. So that's a bit about what's covered in this course. So if you take this course, then you can very easily get all the basic concepts of Django. Now, moving on to the best parts of the course are the explanation of MVT and ORM concepts. These are some theoretical concepts which you need to definitely understand to say confidently that I'm a Django developer. Hence, the author uses few visual images and simple examples to explain these concepts. And moving on to the next best part are the insights. So he gives you exact explanation of why are you writing a particular piece of code, which is like a really important thing if you are a beginner. Now, moving on to the next best part is if there are any relations to Java code, then he tells them at that point where he explains the Django code. So that's another good thing if you're coming from Java background. And he also explains on how to work with images. I'm telling you, working with text is a lot more easier than working with images. Hence, the way in which he teaches how to work with images in Django is also kind of unique and very important. So these are a few best parts of the Telesco Learning's Django Beginners course. So in my view, if you have a little understanding of OOPS concepts, which are the object-oriented programming concepts, and a little web development knowledge, then you should definitely take this course because you're gonna get all the basics of Django in like a very short time, which is 3 hours. So that's my view of Telesco's Django course. Let's move on to the next course now. So the second course to the review is the Django 4-hour course by FreeCodeCamp. So let's see what FreeCodeCamp has given us. So in this 4-hour course, the setup and the virtual environment way of working with the Django course, how to build a basic app, how to understand coding with the settings.py file, which is responsible for configuring your Django application, how to work with the models. So, we spoke about the MVT architecture, right? So, in this course, the author first speaks about the models, then moves on to the templates, and finally talks about views, which are used to integrate the models and the templates. And apart from these, the author also talks about the template tags and filters, which are the addition subtractions, and also talks about HTTP methods like the get and the post, forms and how to deal with them, and the best practices to be ensured while working with the forms. He also talks about the URL routing, including the dynamic URLs, and also the intermediate to advanced concepts like the class based views and custom mixins. And he also speaks about the CRUD operations on database. So these are all the topics which are pretty much covered in this course. Now, moving on to the best parts of the course, one best and amazing part of this course is that the author tells where to go when you're stuck. There are errors which are popping out when you develop, and if you don't know where to go, you'll get stuck and frustrated. But he will rescue you by telling you on where to go when you're stuck. Then, the simple examples are also a great add on to this course, along with the different ways to create forms. So, if you're thinking HTML and CSS are the only way to create forms, then you're wrong because Django provides pure forms which are like a kind of unique in this course. And he works with SQLite 3, which is very much easy and very much simple to understand for the beginners. So these are the pretty much all the stuff that are covered in this course. Now, if you ask me to whom this course is best, then if you are a beginner and who has a little concepts of oops and you understand little concepts of HTML, CSS and web development, then this is your go-to course because you can understand both the basic concepts and some advanced concepts like the mixins and class-based views. So that's my view of the Free Code Camp's Django course. Let's move on to the next one now. The third course in the review is the Programming Knowledge Django course. So it's a 7-hour course, and so let's see what's in here. So in the 7 hours, the setup process and setup of virtual environment to work with Django are covered. The URL requests and responses like the HTTP response and JSON response are covered. The templates are covered. The images and how to work with the images is covered. Working in with the images in the sense how to get the images and how to display them, and how to create forms and how to handle form data is covered in this course. And alerts are covered. Alerts are for giving a notification to user kind of, and also to warn him in some use cases. And also how to handle different input elements is covered. I call it different because not only the text fields and images, which are the most frequently used input elements, not only these, but the different input elements like the progress bars and the text areas are also covered. And finally, he ends by covering create, read, update, delete operations, and most uniquely the search and sort operations on. Finally, he also speaks about how to perform CRUD operations with the MongoDB database. So these are pretty much all the stuff that are covered in the course. Now let's see the best parts of this course. So the best parts of this course, trust me, are the calculator app, poll app, and to-do app projects. These are the ones which make the course lengthy but completely worth watching because all these apps give you a good perspective on how you could use Django in real-time applications. One point to be noted here is that the calculator app and the poll app do not connect to database, but the to-do app definitely connects to database. So be careful while watching out these two. Now, moving on to the next best part is a simple explanation of all the concepts and the projects. And moving on to the third best part, which is my favorite as well, is the emphasis on UI. The author here puts a good emphasis on UI, and he tells about how to configure various bootstrap classes in your Django applications so that your UI will look very much beautiful. UI is very important, guys. So if you are a developer, then you understand various stuff. But if you are a naive person, then in a website, all that you understand is UI. If the UI is attractive, you tend to go and check out the website. Otherwise, no. However good the security might be, or however efficiently you perform the queries, it is the UI that will be seen by a naive person. So author here puts a good emphasis on UI, which you should definitely check out. And coming to the last best part of the course is the Chrome Dev Tools. So he explains the code using Chrome Dev Tools, again very important when you want to debug your application. So that's like all the best parts of the course. Now, if you ask me whom this course is best for, then let me tell you, if you are a person with a little knowledge of HTML and who has like no knowledge of CSS too, then you can prefer this course because the author puts good emphasis on UI, explains Django really well, and also tells about how to connect with database. So that's my view of this course. Let's move on to the next one. Fourth course to the review is the IntelliPath's Python Django course. This course is for complete beginners who don't even know Python programming language. So let's see what's in this course. So since I told you that this course is for beginners, so this course kicks off by teaching the basics of Python, which are covered like really well. Then the course also talks about the NumPy and NumPy arrays and how to manipulate them. And then the introduction of Django comes. And in this course, the web application versus web frameworks is also covered. How to set up the environment for Django is covered. How to work with the models, templates, and views of Django is covered. And along with these, advanced concepts like the automated software testing and Django REST framework are also covered. So these are pretty much all the stuff that are covered in this course. Let's move on to the best parts of the course now. The best parts of the course are this is an amazing course for beginners because it talks about Python and NumPy, which are really important for beginners. And the second best part of this course is that the explanation of files like settings.py. This is like a really important file. Here you have to make changes and configure your applications here. So the explanation of settings.py is really important and like it's covered very good in this course. And the REST framework, which is covered, is also important if you want to like learn further intermediate and advanced concepts in web development. So these are pretty much all the best parts and the overview of the IntelliPaths course. If you ask me whom this course is best for, then if you want to lay a foundation or a base for yourself in development of Django, then this course is the best. But laying the base would not be sufficient for you to be a good developer. You need to learn other concepts and you need to learn all the concepts which are covered in this course in depth too. So that's my view of this IntelliPaths Python Django course. Let's move on to the next one now. So the next one on the list is the Clever Programmer's 8-hour Django course. So let's see what's in here. So the author in this Clever Programmer course uses the Django documentation to explain all the concepts of Django, like how to create and run the Django projects, how to work with the models. He also talks about the Django admin and how to work with it. He also talks about views, how to configure url.py file, and he also talks about generic views and also covers some advanced concepts like the automated testing and static files too. So these are the stuff that are covered in this course. Now coming to the best parts of the course are the projects. The Craigslist web scraping app and the to-do list app are built in this course, which make the course really long. That is the 8-hour course. But these projects are built completely from the front end to the back end and are also hosted online. So if you are looking for good projects which will add a good booster to your resume, then these are the projects you can definitely look into. And the another best part of this course is the Django documentation. So if you are a person who likes to learn from the documentation, then this is your go-to course. And also, if you're looking on how to build your career in Django, then you could also refer the freelancer guide. So these are the best parts of the course. Now, if you ask me who should prefer this course, then let me tell you that if you have a little basics of Django and looking for real-time applications of Django and also want to test yourself by building different projects, then this is your go-to course. So that's my view of the Clever Programmer's Django course. Let's move on to the last and the final course in the review. Final course to the review is the Django series, actually, a series of 17 videos by Corey Schaefer. So let's see what Corey has given us in this series. So in this series, Corey teaches us Django in a very different way. So that way is that he builds a project, a blogging application, and while building that blogging application, he teaches all the concepts of Django. So the concepts of Django which are taught in this course are how to set up for Django application, the application and route setup. He also talks about templates, Django admin page. He talks about migration. He also talks about how to create user login, logout, registration, and profile pages. He also talks about pagination, how to perform CRUD operations, which are the create, read, update, and delete operations on database. And he also talks about how to deploy your application to the Linux server and Heroku platforms. So these are all the stuff which are covered in the course. Now, coming to the best parts of the application. So the best part of the application is the project-based learning. So if you are a person who knows the concepts of little web development and HTML and CSS, and if you are just looking for a Django course which teaches you along with a project, then this is your go-to course. Another best part of this course is that he also covers on how to upload files to AWS, which is the Amazon Web Service. And the deployment is also a great add-on. And the advanced features are also covered in this course, like the email password reset link, which is sent when you forget the passwords and such stuff, are also covered in this course. So if you're looking for a project which will add a great value onto your resume, and if you want to build it from the start till the end, then this is your go-to course. The blogging app really looks amazing and will be a great add-on to your resume and to your personal knowledge as well. So that's my review of Corey Schaefer's Django course. And here we come to the end of the Django YouTube course reviews. If you like this video, then definitely hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And also share to your friends this video because it might help them too. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching my video and keep loving me always. And one thing guys, if you want any course which you want me to review that, then let me know in the comment section. Thank you guys again.